voices in your head. With every twist and every turn, pulling every single thread. I may have 1,000 names, but in the end they're all the same. I play whatever role you need to guide your way. Welcome to the Matrix, where I am your god. It may be a simulation, but I ain't no fraud. I play your friend and your foe, design your joy and your woe. And in the red dress caught your eye, I'm doing something right. Welcome to my world. Let's see who comes out to play tonight.
Welcome, everyone, to a very special episode of For the Win. We are we do it occasionally, D&D actual play. Well, we're trying to be better, but, we just can't, okay?
Fucking life.
Life is hard, and it is there for all of us at different times and in different ways. But we're here tonight. We're not going to be playing. We're down our favorite statue person, Catriona, Matilda. So instead, we are going to do something we haven't done in a while, but is always a treat for me. It's the peel back the curtain, the behind the scenes, the questions and answers, the us, if we had a podcast, essentially, just talking about the game and D&D in general and role playing and all that good stuff. So I'm Nick. I'm usually your dungeon master. I'm not really the MC tonight. We're gonna split those responsibilities. I might take charge of some other things at some other points, but I don't even know. Anyways, joined by 3 people this evening, so I guess I am doing some emceeing right now. I'm a liar, and you should never trust me, I guess.
We don't.
But for the players to introduce yourself tonight, and in doing so, if you were a player character, what would your class or classes be? So somebody, if I call you, then it's like I've introduced you. So.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Ruby?
What? No, Scott, why don't you go first?
Nope, it's Ruby. It's on you.
Yeah,
There you go.
Something I always tell my students is that when I call for volunteers and they say, "Oh, John wants to go," I say, "Oh, well, good. You just volunteered someone. That means you volunteered yourself." So Scott, take it away.
Nope, it's on Ruby. Go
on
ahead.
me, though, Nick. There's the problem.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Ruby. I normally play Nosh, our intrepid fox chef, Namasi. As for me being a player character, I think a sorceress would probably be where I'd be at. That just seems to fit pretty well. I thought possibly like a fighter, and then I was like, oh, a cleric, and then I went, no, I couldn't do the cleric. I couldn't do it. No. But yeah, sorceress, and then maybe a fighter, but probably more into the bloodline magic in some form or fashion would definitely be where I would lean.
Very nice. Love it. Who's next?
Hey, you pick who goes next, Ruby.
Scott.
Oh, fine. Hi, I'm Scott. Yeah, suddenly you're camera shy. When did that happen? Hi, I'm Scott. Normally I'm playing a Teoran wizard, but if somebody had to play me as a D&D class, I'm going to say paladin, because I think I like the physicality of the paladin and all that, but I got to be a spellcaster too. So.
And do you have a strong moral code?
Yeah, I think so, in general. I don't know, ask the people around me. They'll say maybe it's an oathless paladin, but we'll go with that.
I feel like you'd be like a knowledge paladin.
Yeah.
Like oath of knowledge. I think that was in like a UA at one point.
Yep. All right, I'm going to pick Nick to go next.
Ooh, what? Hi, I'm Nick,
Back around.
Uno reverse.
Dungeon Master. So I think I would definitely have some levels in Bard. I like to think of myself as musical in that, like, I'm always humming, singing, whistling, but I don't really have much musical talent. I do a lot of storytelling. It's a big part of my job. I think I'm just gonna go Bard. Like, I am a bit of a jack of all trades in that I'm like decent at a lot of things, most things even, but not really like great at any of them. So I think Bard.
All right, and that leaves us with Snash.
What up? I'm Snash. I normally play Harlow, who is a cleric, but I would probably choose for myself Divine Soul Sorcerer. I got the heart of a cleric, but I'm fucking magical.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't like. I want to say ranger and stuff like that, but I think really I think I'm suited to sorcery more.
Nice.
Fun class.
Nicely done.
All right.
Definitely
And-
enjoyed that.
You don't have to study like those wizard nerds.
Yep.
No.
You got
I
your
got
power
it.
from God and anime, damn it.
Natural tricks, baby.
All right, so the way we're going to start things, at least here, is we've got some questions. We'll take turns asking a question, picking someone to answer that question, and then if other people want to popcorn in and answer that question as well, by all means. But then we'll rotate to someone else asking a question and so forth until we get sick of that and want to do something else, in which case I've got some ideas for things. And if anybody is out there watching on your devices, hit us up in the chat, ask a question, give us something here. But anyways, I can start with a question. In thinking about this campaign, we've talked about on the stream, the collaborative nature of building the setting, and we'd spent 2 sessions building out lore and geography and all that good stuff. So that is very much established. But within that, I want to you to think about your character, and because before you had character, theoretically at least, you had at least this kernel of setting that I gave you all. So what was the beginning points for your character? Let's start this one with Scott. Like, where did Quinn, where was he born for you?
Honestly, it was the map, right? It was the map and the species.
Okay.
And then it was just a lot of thinking about what would actually emerge out of an area that was populated by both, densely forested areas, some of which were fully animated. So it kind of started there, and I think I was drawn to Teorans for a couple of reasons. There was, as a wizard, there's always a struggle to try to get armor class enough that you're not so squishy. And Teorans do have an ability to have a natural AC of 17 as one of their natural traits. So that's pretty darn good. It meant that as a wizard, you don't have to be carrying around, mage armor all the time, taking up a prep slot and making sure you're casting it all the time. So it just seemed like a great kind of starter class that I could dig into and really think heavily about what would a culture of living trees actually be like.
And you thought a lot about it, Scott.
A little bit.
Someday we should show the world the massive tome that is the Teoran lore, which I don't know, like some DMs would probably be like, ugh, but like it just gave you so much and me so much to pull from.
That wasn't to overburden you with anything. That was for me, right?
And it made Quinn just like feel very naturally realized and realistic, and even stuff that you wasn't specific to Quinn's backstory, because you created it. You can draw from that, like, oh yeah. Well, when you're interacting with other Teora or Teoran lore. So that's been pretty neat.
Yeah.
Do you? I think everybody should answer this question since you're all players in this game. Scott, you can pick who answers it next.
Snash.
All right, I saw Rekindled and I'm like, boom, spooky bitch, please, thank you. I'm like, an undead race, yeah, give me that, love it. And then, of course, I was working, just chatting back and forth with Matilda a lot, and that's really Harlow, like a lot was from my side, like I had stuff with Harlow, but then like just with the chatting that we were having going on, I was like, let me make a character that Matilda will love. Like and yeah, we're just like, yeah, we want characters that might die for each other further on in the campaign, so let me build something that's kind of like sweet and like, oh, I just want to take care of you. Yeah.
And was there any like conscious decision to, because like Woe had a very like a lot to her backstory comparatively. Was that intentional of like, I want to play a character that is kind of more blank slate?
Yep. It was because Harlow definitely has elements of me in her, but I'm definitely more Woe than I am Harlow, just in like my personality. So separating that is sometimes hard for me, and creating less of a backstory makes it easier for me to play a character, if that makes any sense. Because then I can just go and be like, yeah, I don't fucking know how I feel about this until the moment happens. Yeah.
Well, and it's created two very fun things for me. One, in that I can, be like, oh, hey, here's something fucked up from one of your souls.
Yeah.
But beyond that is like this idea that like I have tremendous power, and that I can, in that like I introduce elements into the world. Like I have the very real power to warp Harlow's perspective, or at least influence it, right? With all like the terrible shit that you guys have gone through. And so I mean, you even said, I think early on in like the concept that like, well, Harlow could end up, like going full villain at some point.
Yeah. And I kind of like the idea of building a character that is like 100% like a reflection upon the party. So like what she sees and experiences within the party is kind of her worldview. Is what she develops. So like when she sees good things within the party, she's like, oh, I want a family, like that sounds awesome. And then when she sees things like, hey, you're really greedy, that's weird.
Yeah, it's definitely created some conflict between the characters, which is certainly interesting.
It's just like rolling a fresh adult baby into the group and letting it absorb everything from those around her, which is, it's fun to play off of other people like that.
Oh yeah, when I had the general idea for Rekindled, I was like, I know that either Snash or Matilda is going to want to play this because it's like Death Girls. But yeah, what about you, Ruby? Where was Nosh born conceptually?
So it's a little weird because I was really excited about the Veteran and Flood Touched originally, especially the Flood Touched.
Yeah,
I was really thinking about doing some Flood Touched and like just the innate abilities that they gain, because Zeal is such a integral part of the world. When you provided us with that information, it's like, oh great, I want to tap into that. But then I really wanted to play a class that's very unique and very different. And so it was like, well, I want to be this chef. And then it was like looking at those two, I was like, well, that's not really what I want to be. And so with a little bit of discussion and some talking with Scott and yourself and even Matilda and Snash, I pivoted over to Namasi. And then it just kind of grew from there, because with a Namasi, as you kind of stated, there's every type of beast or even, insect type creature that you can think of could be a Namasi of some kind, the intelligence. And so it was like I was opened up to, I could have been a cat, I could have been a leopard, I could have been a bear, I could have been an otter. I could have been a dove. It didn't matter, really. I could have like picked anything and just run with it. But I ended up picking fox because I leaned into the chef. I was really leaning into my class when I made my character. I was like, okay, well, looking at all the animals, when you think about it, what's some well-known animal that is actually like an omnivore? So that means they can eat everything. And so they can, cook with everything or anything. And that's when I landed on fox, and it kind of built from there. And I just wanted to play a male character because I've never played a male character before. And the masculine side of it, everybody always says in games, in like video games, like, go make me a sandwich, woman. And I'm like, no, you can make your own damn sandwich. And so I like, but we see that all the time. There are men that are cooks across the world. So I was like, yeah, no, this is going to be a male cook who just freaking loves food, as I do, and many other people I know do. And he's going to be the, best at it out of everybody. I definitely like the opportunity with the Namasi to kind of expand a little on like the fox side of things. When it came to there being so many different versions of it, I appreciated Scott and his idea to connect the Teorn and Namasi. That was really fun, and I liked talking with him and discussing that. But then just building out my own family was just fun because like it wouldn't be normal. I thought like a chef is not a normal class for a fox. I felt like, they're very stealthy. They're very much predators, and they protect their own. And so it was when I made the family, I was like, he's going to be divided. There's going to be the everyday foxes that are like the farmers and the caretakers and the village keepers and the raising the young, and then his other side of his family is all going to be these fighters. So that he still has all of that because it's, he was born and bred in it, but he's definitely a very unique character. And then there's Ra, which I was so happy when you let me have Ra, my really little resilient flame boy.
Which really was not bending rules as written much. I mean, yes, we created a new familiar.
Right, because he's a familiar.
But he's not really that different from like a reskinned owl.
Right.
I mean, he has the fire damage that he can do, but even that's pretty minimal.
Yeah, but he's just... When I gave you that idea, I appreciated how much you just ran with it. And now Ra has this presence whenever you talk as Ra. And I love the fact that you've made him obsessed with Harlow's teeth.
She has so few, only having her upper jaw.
Look at this not
much there. But yeah, so I guess I don't know if like people who watch here, that we have these the folk, the Namasi, and our plant folk, the Teora, but like mechanically how they work as a species, because they're so diverse. You can't just have like a one size fits all for all animals, and even the same for plants because they're even more varied. So what we did is we created like a build your own with minor traits and major traits, which was definitely inspired by something I found on Reddit. I probably stole some of those directly from pages, but so for the two of you, how has that been in terms of like and we're at the point now where you're no longer gaining new traits, but is that something that you enjoyed? Was it overwhelming? Is there something that you think we should change about that process?
I think that was one of the real attractors to that species for me, because it did have this kind of customizability to it. And that just seemed like really, really fun. And I was glad that it wasn't all up front, that it was sort of spread out as the character leveled, because I think it required a little bit of time for me to get a feel for the character and to see how does he really behave, what's going to really be useful, as we kind of move forward. But I think in my head, I'm less of a like flavor builder from a character perspective as I am more like, I think fundamentally I'm more like a min-maxer for character builds. Yeah. So I definitely chose traits that I thought would be most useful over those, with maybe the one exception of rooted. which I just thought was fun. So that's a trait where a Teorin can basically plunk his feet into the ground, then cannot be pushed over, and also gains some small sphere of tremor sense. But I just, having come from the Martyria campaign and having sat through long debates among the party before we actually went and did something, and felt like on a couple of occasions Rafen was getting railroaded into doing shit he really didn't want to do. I just like the idea of being able to just root myself and go, fuck you, I'm staying here. So it hasn't happened yet, but I do like the ability that's out there.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but rooted, that was you came up with that as a thing, right?
Yeah, but not
there was like some,
in that regard.
Some permutation. Oh yeah.
It was something that was already there that was similar to it, and we just kind of modified it. But
yeah. What about you, Ruby?
I mean, when I started looking at the Mossies, I thought it was a great boon because you could kind of pick anyone and still gain an advantage with those minor or major traits. It really took me a while to figure out what would be the best ones for my character, especially with the class I'd chosen, because I needed advantages. I needed to use them in a way that was going to be, easily accessible in a fight, and something that would bring me, further away from an enemy or closer to an enemy, or gain me an advantage or a disadvantage on my enemy. And so there's a lot of different ones, and they're all very much, in a sense, animal based, which I liked about them a lot. I think you did a great job of picking out the major traits versus the minor traits. And I love Leaper. I don't know if any of you guys have watched. I use that a lot because foxes are nimble, and if you've ever watched the cute little videos of the snow foxes, they dive into the ground with a giant leap. And so I'm like, yes, he's gonna leap away easily and efficiently from danger. And then of course it was efficient and helpful that the traits were delayed, like Scott said, because the characters grow and change over time. So I used the first few traits were advantages that I was like, okay, as my character starts, what can I do to make myself protect myself in a sense? And then now it's like I could have picked anything. It worked out best for me to choose the natural armor at the time because it worked really good with the storyline. But overall, I mean, I could have chosen any of the others and it would work well and just overall help. Because I definitely thought about doing like nimble, which allows me, to disengage as a bonus action, which I technically already have. But it just overall, there's like a lot of different ones that I was like, ooh, but this is what I want at the time. So I really appreciated it. It definitely brings more dynamic to your character, and if others were to like take the guide you created and create their own, I definitely can see a lot of people really enjoying the chance to choose so many different traits to build their character the way they want and bring disadvantages or advantages depending on the situation, especially with Namassi having the ability to be any type of creature that you could think of. So definitely had good highlights on that for sure.
I'm confident that if we posted our species on like Reddit or DM's Binder or whatever, like people would be like, this is so unbalanced. These are way too powerful, which is true, but I think it balances out in that they're all like stronger than a standard species is. I mean, like no standard species is giving you an aura like the Rekindled has, or an aura at all for that matter, which you could, like if you were playing a Rekindled paladin could get real bonkers potentially, but
I like that idea.
Yeah, but I don't know, like in the design, especially like once you all started participating in that, I was like, you know what? Who cares? I'll find ways to still provide challenges for you all. Exactly.
This is for us.
It was for the players, and I think that's why I think a lot of people would like it. But it also takes a strong DM to be able to look at all those different creatures and races and their abilities and be able to build a campaign around it that can still challenge such strong creatures and characters,
That's the fun part for me.
Props to you,
He's
sir.
nearly killed Cat like 3 times now.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens when one person is the mainline tank and recklessly defends all the time, and everyone else is like, "Hi."
I'm
a rock.
always there.
I'm over
I
here.
just never get hit.
This is true. She is
It's
always
so
there.
hard because everything's afraid of you,
Mhm.
which is good. You know, like you want the person who can heal to be safe.
I will say I'm going to need like multiple campaigns in Wyrdgard because I want to make so many characters with all the species.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's almost hard because it's like when you play normally, it's like, oh, here's a new race that I can bring into this. Like this campaign has its own race that I can play. This is something new that I can do. But like coming into Wyrdgard, it's like all of them are new. Nothing is something you've played before. So you want to immediately like get your fingers in there and play with them all.
I mean, Scott has been talking about eventually DMing a 2-shot, and I've already made 4 characters for it because I was just having fun with what are the possibilities, what are some fun builds with these species in the 2024 classes,
and it's kind of nice too because it's like, so you're looking at these species and stuff, and all of this has not been play tested yet, right?
Yep.
So there's zero ability to like Google, hey, what's going to be the best build with this race
Right.
and this class and this and that and this and that, because it's all new. It's all just you looking at it and being like, ooh, this is what I want to do with this. But I could do this with this one too. Oh, but what about, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, which has been it's been cool to see how you all have embodied these species. And I'm glad it wasn't like officially a rule for this campaign to all pick different species, but it was, I think I had mentioned like it would be cool if you all had, then you become like the experts on that species. And I think the diversity has been nice. We don't have any real chat questions, do we? Apparently they want to know about swallows.
All right, question for you, Nick.
There's no real chat questions. You can keep going. It's just
Depends, right? Isn't that the answer? African or European?
So, Nick, this whole campaign started with world building sessions.
Yes.
Where you invited us all to contribute new lore to the world, and in some cases, very specific NPCs or species, creatures, all that. Of that, what has been the most fun for you to actually implement?
For NPC, definitely Hegnod for sure. Like I knew from the second that you like pitched him, Ruby, and how we all started just like really building on the lore of Hegnod.
Oh gosh, the lore of Hegnod.
I've got shit for him that I hope comes out. But he's just a fun character to like. Anytime you can give me someone that's going to be annoying or a little creep or a little weirdo, like that's DM gold for NPCs. Like people like often ask like DMs like, how do I make players care about my NPCs? And it's like, you make them weird. You make them just weird little guys.
How do you make them hate them?
Yeah.
Or you make them hate them.
Like you hate him,
and he's so polarizing.
But you can't kill him, right?
But I mean,
it's like one of those like.
He's 1,000% my favorite part of the campaign so far.
Like, do we want to share some of the stuff? Like, I have the notes pulled up. Like, do you guys remember what we said about him? Some of the things. Do you want to hear some of them?
Yeah. I know the broad strokes, but what are some of the things that you said?
The first thing is he's a fame chaser.
Yeah.
We made him an effigy. He's a comical statue when he was made. There are taverns and inns that have banned him from the premises, and he's well known throughout the region. He's an expert carpenter. Not at all. I mean, but he believes he is. He attaches himself to parties of 4 people and follows them around, jumping from group to group. And he's never sure if he's the reason the party died or not. He has tons of stories. Was a fake to get away from them. he assumes anyone has done the same as he has. And he constantly has a dedicated line at the dispatch news for the last time he's been seen, I think is what we decided on. So yeah, I just pitched it. And I was like,
he's on the no-fly list. He's
Yes.
like the reason a no-fly list exists.
there's a reason the no-fly list.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's got ways of getting around.
yeah, he does.
I have to say, we haven't seen him in a while. I legitimately
Yeah.
miss him. I miss him.
Yeah.
No, you can't miss him because
Only been like a
because
couple of
Harlow
days.
keeps creating him as her totem, so you can
Yeah.
see an
Good
image
point.
over there
Good
of him every other battle that we have.
Beyond that,
I've
there's
only pulled him twice. All right.
I
That's
mean,
twice.
it feels
Yeah, that's
like
true.
you pulled him a lot more. Than that.
there's a lot of stuff that you all made that I want to incorporate, but being that we've really we haven't played a ton in this world yet. We had that long in-person session, but beyond that, was it 19 sessions that we've had? 18?
This would be the
I mean, that's a lot.
if you take out the in-persons, because I don't
I
think
mean,
we covered those.
it is, but it's not when we have as big and broad of a world as we have with all the shit that if you really think about it, you've been to four towns, 2 of them tiny.
I will say that there's a lot more of the world to explore.
Oh yeah.
Just our story is very focused. It's not big broad strokes just yet, but who knows how it could pivot to start
Certainly.
really broad stroking the world. And there's a huge gap in time, and suddenly it's 2 weeks later, and you have just now arrived at Karoa, and you're seeing this, and this. I mean,
Which we also, I think something we established is that we want to, like you said, Snash, just come back to Wyrdgard. So it's okay if all of the lore things don't come up.
Sure.
And that might be something that we see next campaign or the campaign after, or who knows what. Because ultimately it ends up being what is most important is the characters in that particular campaign. And so as much as I want to incorporate stuff from the world building, I always want to include things from backstories, bringing in Relton and the brothers and things like that to make it feel current and
Yep.
pressing for your characters.
So we have spent roughly 76 hours in Wyrdgard in campaign.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
It somehow
Or
feels
9
like less.
days. 9 days in game or something. Yeah.
I mean, we've been playing since last year.
It's been more than a year, yeah.
When was session 1?
No, we started Wyrdgard right on the anniversary of when we had started Martyria almost.
Well, didn't we start at the new year was session 1?
Yeah,
'cause
something
we had a
like that.
gap.
So, we started in January, right, for session 1, because we had our world building sessions, which is time in Wyrdgard, but it's not like a campaign session.
If Wyrdgard was a baby, they'd be
Oh, so it's not
Being
been a
born.
year yet. 7 months.
7 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, which that means if we add the in-person play, then we got about three a month that we're playing, but it just doesn't feel like that. It feels like, especially lately, our schedule has been very,
It's been
truncated.
erratic. Yeah.
But you know what? That's D&D for you.
Mm-hmm. That does happen.
I mean, if somebody wants to pay
That's
us a
life.
salary, we can make sure we're on
Oh
time.
yeah, if someone wants to pay us 5 salaries.
Hello, singular viewer. Please fund us so that
You
all we
very
do is
independently
play-
wealthy.
Turns out it's Jeff
Yes.
Bezos that's addicted to Wyrdgard.
Yes.
Hey, you know what? I wouldn't have any problem selling my soul to Daddy Bezos.
That was my
I'll plug
next
whatever
question.
products he wants me to.
Which oligarch would you sell your soul to?
Mm-hmm.
All of them. I mean, realistically, my soul's not worth much. But but comfort. Can you put a price on it?
Mm.
Ah, goodness. Good question. Good question. All right, who's next? Ruby or Snash? Question time.
I got a question,
Go for it, Snash.
and it's for Ruby.
Oh, God.
All
You know
right.
her.
So we watched Nosh's brother die.
Yes.
When it comes to like character deaths or tragedies that happen to your player, how far over does that cross into your personal feelings when something terrible happens? Like, how attached are you to like when someone dies? Has there ever been a moment where like that passes over beyond a game to like you're like, oh, I really don't want to play because I don't want to,
Yeah. So with this particular campaign with Gion, who's the one that passed in the most recent explosion, and meeting up with Dion, you have to remember a little bit of Nosh's backstory with that, because he technically grew up away from them. I mean, you almost want to say they're like distant cousins at times, even though they're from the same litter. They're brother and sister, but he grew up on the farm with his mother, and they grew up with their father. And so it's not, I would not say the same as it's as impactful. It's definitely jarring, and it was very upsetting. I think with this character for Nosh in particular, it's a lot of anger and a lot of frustration of, this shouldn't have happened. I shouldn't have allowed this to happen. Even though Nosh is technically considered the younger brother, they're all equal in Nosh's eyes and age-wise, really. But like, he was there, he should have done better and have been able to disable the vest. Like, that's the way I see it. And I'd say a little bit of that carries over in the past with other events. I think one of the biggest one was that like impacted me personally was when we lost one of our members. They were no longer able to continue, so their character had to go in a sense. And so there was a whole scene on what that looked like, and that for me, that was really impactful, because I knew why they were leaving. I knew what was going on, but it just personally, that hit me a lot more than this death of one of my characters has, because it was not just their character dying, but like they were no longer going to be here. And so like for me, following that session, it was like, I don't want to play. I don't really want to come back over to these guys. I love these guys. I want to see these guys, but I don't know if I want to play.
A heavy session.
Yeah, that was a really heavy session. And I know you guys kind of know.
In some of the conversations we were having off stream, Ruby,
Yeah.
it's like, Ruby's sad.
Yeah, I was pretty sure everybody could feel how sad I was. But with Gion, and even the situation with Dion, it's actually encouraged me. I'm like, okay, when are we playing the next session, Nick? I need to fix this. Like it was constant.
I need to save my brother.
I need to fix this. We need to fix this. I'm dying here. Would you somebody press? And so, and I will say I appreciate Harlow sucking up that soul for me, just in case, we're gonna get
That was
back.
gross.
It was so gross, but so great.
Specifically
so, yeah.
the gesture.
So yeah, I think though for everyone, it just depends on how attached you are. One thing I would say as a group, and you guys can comment on this, like losing, we like no longer having the character of like Gobblefunk, because that was such a foil within the world of Martyria, which was the last campaign we played. Is like I could see how that impacted everybody, because we got referenced a lot. For the longest time, and it's only real recently that we haven't really like brought him up, because now it's like a bit of Hecknog here, a bit of Ra here. Like there are other things, and even Mosswing. There's other beings
Mascots.
and NPCs. Yeah. Yes. What was the carrot? What was his name? Oh,
The what?
that episode.
The turnip.
The turnip.
Oh, talking about Screech and Dell.
Yes,
Dell.
Dell and Screech. That was a weird episode, guys. Oh my
That was
God.
fun.
I was really confused.
It's another one of those,
That
just
episode.
like have a weird NPC.
It's really weird. It's great though. It's
And hit
great.
it turned up.
So yeah, that kind of answers your question, I hope.
Yeah. You guys are going to be devastated when Ra reaches the end of his story.
Bro,
He's
that's
He's just
familiar
a little-
though.
Just a little sweetie.
I
You
was
little
res-
sweetie.
resilient.
he's a little baby.
He is a little baby. Okay, this is a
Yeah.
question for all of us in this sense.
Whoop.
But what has been the most genuinely, and it's just Wyrdgard, just think Wyrdgard. What has been the most genuinely hilarious or chaotic moment within a session that you can recall that just makes you die giggling or laughing out loud? Like where you were almost having to like stop, little tears dribbling out of your eyes because you were like trying not to laugh so hard.
I mean, I can start. It was one of the in-person. It was an in-person fight with Mama when she started talking about Papa.
Yeah.
In reference to Quinn, and just like, oh god, it was just like a. I don't know who said Papa first. It might have been you, Scott, but not even in reference to yourself. But like, just like Quinn becoming little Papa is just like so exciting for me. It's so funny.
There's something about the voice that you do with Mama that just fucking makes me laugh so hard. And I probably shouldn't because it's supposed to be creepy, but man, it makes me.
Well, but that's the thing. Like with voices is like, yeah, they're, you know, even like the sinister ones like Mama, they're gonna be they're kind of goofy.
Kind of goofy. Yeah. That one's a good one. I like that one. Scott, do you have one that you can think of?
Well, the whole Mama interactions was definitely like top of mind for me. Right behind Hegnog, because every time he shows up, I'm like, you can see it on the video. Like anytime he's around, half the time I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't even look at the screen. It's just so fucking funny.
When that around that campfire, when Quinn and it was just like two bros just like having the time of their lives, planning in their heads their best man speeches for each other's weddings.
I will say, my favorite, and for anybody watching, you'll have to watch the lives where we're all together in person that we've have recorded. They're the videos. There is a time where we're in this hectic fight, and we're fighting this like phoenix-like creature. I think that's what you maybe called it, Nick. And somebody is trying to get this stupid chest, and we're all telling him not to. And the next thing we know, the chest goes, do, and you hear something, and we're all like, oh, hell no, because everybody immediately was like...
Because I think one of us said, Hegnog better not be in that fucking chest. And then Nick was like, he.
Yeah, in person.
And I was like, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Let's go.
Yeah. And so because we ended up leaving that chest.
That's right. He found you shortly after.
He found us shortly after. But that, for me, that was one of them. Whenever I think about it, I would giggle to myself constantly. So yeah.
That's just pulling up the receipts.
Oh, I fucking love Mud. It's a toss-up between Mud and
Mud
Bug,
tickled you.
but Mud tickled my hee-hee spot. It just fucking party in a pocket. Like, imagine someone never knowing what drugs are, and then you fucking get them from a chameleon. Like,
yeah.
I like with your 3-year-old right here. You're talking about drugs.
And Mud is one of my favorite types of NPCs in that he didn't exist at all in any writing, didn't exist in my head. You're just like, who do we see? And I'm like, all right, well, you got a chameleon. And then like just that like process of very quickly, okay, what's his vibe? You give him a weird voice and then just go with it. Yeah, Mud was a lot of fun. And if you give him a name like Mud, that's gold.
Be fair here, guys. I don't know who Mud is.
You know, because you
missed that session.
You never met Mud.
I was a statue when they brought Mud in. I was being carried by Cat.
That's true.
You were in a bag, I think, at the time.
I was in a bag.
Petrified.
I remember reading or like listening to part of the live the next day or something, and then messaging you all and be like, "What drugs are you doing without me?" Like, I remember asking like, "Who's doing drugs? What drugs?" And they were like, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Ruby. It's fine. You're not missing anything. To hear, though, that y'all had a good time with another NPC is always fun. Good job. That was my question.
Nice.
Great one.
So, Nick, there are threads that you have planted in the game that we have not pulled on yet.
Sure.
Are there any that you are just dying for us to go back to and explore? Like things you built out and we just didn't follow that path?
Well, my thing is I build a lot of things in broad strokes, but I don't really get into a lot of nitty-gritty fine detail until it becomes relevant. Because I'm not going to invest my time in coming up with something when you might do something in a session that either directly or inadvertently creates some lore or something that's just better. And so I try to, like, I have threads for you to pull, and I've got enough of it that you can, like, if you pull on it in that moment, I can get through a session or two. But then it's like at the end of the session that then I really think, okay, because they did X and Y, what are the implications of that? What are the ripple effects? How does that affect this and that and this other thing? And how do I connect everything? That's what I think I love most about being a DM, and what I miss when I play is that I don't have that between session, like I feel like almost like a conductor in a mad orchestra where I'm just like, I've got to somehow mash it all together. But that like puzzle aspect of it is always very fun for me as a DM. So I guess no, but whatever you all focus on. I will say that I did have something fun in that little ether deep pit, but it wasn't anything that you needed. It would have bypassed the cliff, but that was a fun encounter in itself too, I think, and that your goal wasn't to kill all the things, but it was just to get down safely. But yeah, and who knows, I'll probably take the ideas that I had for that little ether deep pocket and repurpose them for somewhere else. Yep. Which that's a good tool in the DM tool belt, is your players didn't do that thing that you had prepared, put it somewhere else.
Reskin it.
Yep.
Makes sense. Like I went back through some of the early, like our in-person sessions, and I remembered at one point, Kat picked up a cursed notebook.
Yep.
And then we just put it in a bag.
You just put it in a bag?
Just put it in a bag.
Like,
we do that with a lot of stuff, though, I feel like.
Yeah.
And who knows what possession of that cursed notebook for all this time may or may not be doing. What the ramifications of that may be. Hasn't been that long in world, but out in real time, it's been months. 6.
I totally forgot about that. I'm like, holy shit, that's right.
Yeah.
So, kind of piggybacking off of that, with all the threads we have, looking ahead, right? What is one major event that we kind of are headed towards that you guys are most looking forward to as we continue on this journey?
If you can.
If you can, kill Relton, maybe.
We've got plans.
You've got plans, okay.
Or, what is there, like, what mystery item, or is it the question I asked you, our character arc, obviously besides killing Relton, that's going to unfold, or that's a part of even your character that you're like, yes, I want to know what's going to happen here. I am so excited to find out.
I cannot wait to go back for Mama 2.0.
Okay, that's a really good one.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's going to be largely shaped with what the hell you all do. Like, what do you do with the box, if anything?
Like, we're trying to pause it right now, but I cannot wait to go back or take care of this situation, because it's
those exhaustion levels are going to keep building.
Fun.
Yeah.
So we're not going to take any rest, guys.
You can't. Like, that's the downside.
I rest.
Yeah, you're fine, man, right?
For now. For
That
now.
persistent exhaustion has on Foundry perplexed me so many times because I keep forgetting that it's on there. I'm like,
Why are
But
they
your
rolling
veils-
so bad?
it's not even that. It's like
Yeah.
it's like in between sessions. Like your veil is not. It's not doing the fucking thing right. It's only you should have a +10. You only have a +8. What the? Oh, exhaustion.
yeah. It's only a +8. I'm sorry,
It's
guys.
almost-
Yeah.
It's terrible. Can't stand that.
I'm like, what, a 5th level character rolling +10s, +12s? Yeah.
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 Oops.
Oh dang.
Those talks.
What about you, Ruby?
There's a couple of things that I think about. It has a lot to do with Kat and Harlow's backstories, truthfully. Like, I'm really excited to see, for one, like,
Me
Kat's-
too.
Yeah. I think me too. I don't know what's happening around
I had a
here.
theory, an early theory about Kat and Harlow's backstory, which I'll tell you in a minute. But go ahead. Ruby.
Okay. But no, it's like because Kat was originally sent to find these individuals, and like it's slowly like that's not a priority, it feels like, maybe, or like
Well, you found them. They're dead.
we found them, they're dead. We're just following the whatever trail they left from years ago. And then Harlow is just a whole ball of mystery in of itself. It's great. And I think the very last thing is I just really want to find the spork and stuff. Like, I know we like that was part of our world building, but like as Nosh and as a character, I'm like, I want it so bad.
You gotta go find it.
And I know it's not a priority right now, of course, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna find it. You're gonna have to put it in my path at some time.
Campaign 4 of Wyrdgard. That's the spork appears. It's just the spork. That's the whole campaign.
It's a whole
Quest
thing.
for the spork.
Nope.
So my
That would
early
be a-
theory.
The spork. You're all prongs on that spork.
Mhm.
That would be a fun, like, just short thing, like a
Oh, yeah.
D3 where we're
Little mini
all
arc.
chefs going for the sport.
Oh,
All
yes.
chefs.
It's like
Yes.
chopped.
Oh yeah, that's a good like 2-shot.
Oh,
Nice.
I did love
We're all
that.
competing against each other, and we all fail in the end.
I love the opportunity you gave me, Nick, to do like basically a chopped. That was so much fun.
Yeah.
I
Well,
hope
and that
you
was
got
like
one
one of those things where it's like I had what are the shops in this market and like who
Yeah.
runs them, but that was the extent of it. But then the fact that you're like, well, I'll cook you for it.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, well, fuck it, then let's just have fun with it.
Uh-huh.
And I think like from the DM side of things, like it's tough early to like improv stuff like that, but once you have like a stronger like once you like really know the game, I feel like,
Mhm.
and the just like I don't know, then it becomes much easier to just on the fly like, all right, let's do a skills contest, but with all these other factors involved. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed that.
I did. Snash, what about you? What are you looking forward to?
Finding out my history.
Okay. Well, yeah,
I
that was
mean-
secure too. You know how much you're excited about that.
And we've only scratched like a little bit of
It's
like
the
like
barest.
two prongs.
That's why I love that idea of rekindled. Like that was just like immediately I was like, yes. No, but definitely Mama. That's my go-to right now.
Okay.
I'm like,
I'm a 2.0.
I want to beat this bitch up.
What about
And
you,
not
Scott?
let Cat die this time.
A little bit
She
longer
didn't die.
term, but I'm anxious to see what the Starfall Conservatory has in store for young wizard Quinn.
It's a cult.
'Cause I think that's
Okay,
an
Harry Potter.
opportunity. Right? Exactly.
I just had to throw it out because I was thinking.
Like
of
I could
it.
totally see Quinn just taking a little sojourn from the party for a while to do some studying for a bit, become a bigger, better wizard. But I don't know. I got to figure out what it is.
Place is definitely not going to be corrupt.
Definitely not going to be anything other than as advertised.
Right? Sure. Well, the one guy we met, I forget what the
Mercy, he was pretty
Mercy.
chill.
Totally chill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang with Mercy all day.
He was chill with a bunch of people dying of a disease that he's been cured of like 27
3
times.
Lord, when I was like hearing that and I was outside as a player. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. You mean there's a really easy way for these people to get cured?
Just very expensive.
Sucks, man.
Yeah, it's just like that, like sort of like very. That's the way I like was thinking of him. Is like he's like well-meaning, but kind of disconnected from the
Right.
actual. He's like, oh yeah, I've been cured of it 3 times, and
So,
it's
like,
it
upper class
sure is
echelon.
terrible.
It's sure is terrible. This is so easy though to get cured.
If only they would, keep that bridge up all the time.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And the things that I'm looking forward to, I can't tell you because I don't know one if they're gonna. I mean, all the things I'm looking forward to are related to your backstories.
You can share with stream. We'll just take our
Oh,
headsets off.
Okay, you guys just
yeah.
mute real quick.
People
Really
watch
looking,
it later.
really looking forward to when they find out that all of Wyrdgard is happening inside Gobblefunk's dream. That's
I love that.
It's all
You
one
laughed.
big myth.
I need him
You
back.
weren't supposed
I
to
need him
listen.
back. I need him back.
He was such a great back. So great. So great. Ugh.
And that is what I think. Like, so I see because I spend so much of my free time just reading like Reddit subreddits about D&D, and people always talk about like DMPCs, which I don't like DMPCs, which is the dungeon master having a character for anybody who doesn't know who's watching. But I think the closest to that is a familiar, which is like you get to play a character, but they're still controlled by someone else. You just get to have the personality and do a voice.
You do an epic job with those.
I try.
Really enjoy giving you that opportunity, I think.
I'm definitely
thanks.
joining the rhyming couplets with Moss. I really
so
need to have
it's-
more conversations with Moss.
So, you really do. Some of them are hits, some of them are real misses. Some of them are
struggles. Such
Yeah.
struggles.
Was Gobblefunk the first familiar that you gave a voice to? Because I remember when I
Yeah.
made him, I specifically wanted a familiar that could talk.
Yeah, I'd had players with familiars before, but it was like it was an owl or something like that. That even being this celestial or fey or fiend spirit wouldn't. I don't know. They didn't have, like, when they conceptualized them having a voice, and so I wasn't going to be like, hey, what are they like? But that was something I definitely, with you, I was like, I wanted to know, like, what you thought of Gobblefunk, and inevitably I definitely ended up making him my own, but from the seed of what you had said about him, and then obviously with Mosswing, it was just 100% a joke from Scott that she only speaks in rhyming couplets, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna fucking do it. And then just like talking with Ruby about like what is Ra's personality, and
Yeah, we hashed out what little boy's personality is going to be, and then I was like, take it away.
yeah, and like you had said that he's like kind of hesitant and like definitely sticks to Nosh, and so I was like, okay, that's good. That is a nice contrast to someone like Gobblefunk and even Moss, who is just kind of, because you had said like aloof, and she is, like, I think part of why she isn't maybe as vocal as Ra is not only is it more challenging, but like she's a fucking cat. She's got her own universe and world that she is
She has
dealing
a cat personality
She has
too.
a cat
Yeah.
personality.
with, right?
But
I will
I
say-
think her intelligence is actually higher than Rafen's was. So,
Not
Nice.
not a hard,
Nice.
not a high bar.
Yeah.
well, we had
Rafen and Fade were like
yeah, I
neck
think
and
they were right next to. He was like
Wait.
6 and
And
7
And
or
Fade was
something.
like what, like a 5?
Oh God, poor
Fade
Faye.
was a 6.
Okay.
It's kind of funny though. Isn't our party made up of a lot of wise people, but not?
I don't
very-
have high wisdom. I got
So you're the
medium.
intelligent. Technically, Quinn's the intelligence.
And then-
That tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Kat's got wisdom, not as much as she has strength, but yeah.
Right. And Harlow, you're
Wisdom
Wisdom.
based, because I'm cleric. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I felt.
And of course, as written, the chef was wisdom, but we
Right.
switched
We
that to
pivoted
charisma.
And
I think it makes sense.
Yeah, it did. It made a lot of sense. Okay.
And that's one of my D&D hot takes is I think warlocks should be intelligence casters.
Go away.
They
away.
No business being charisma casters. I
agree.
like my idea of a warlock is that, like, 'cause they're still studying the arcane, but they're going beyond. They're pushing into what shouldn't be
Touched.
accessed, and yeah, they get a little help from Daddy, but so many warlocks as played too are like, I don't know why I'm a warlock. I accidentally made my pact, or I don't know who my patron is, which I think is fun as fuck. But it's like, how is your force of will then playing into it? So I don't think warlock should be charisma, and that's where I stand.
Maybe I just view it differently based on the warlocks I play, but warlocks to me are like sugar babies, and sugar babies get whatever they want by sweet talking their daddies. Right?
And so maybe warlock should be you choose your, like, when you choose your relationship with your patron. I feel like that should be something that is, I don't know, maybe we don't need to codify it in rules, but like warlocks, they like mention in the handbook, like, oh, here's like some ideas for what your relationship might be, but like it's such an integral part of the class.
I guess when I think of warlocks, I think of like basically villains. You know, your stereotypical, like, I want power, I'll do whatever it takes, I'll sign my soul to the devil, give me your... I think of villains, and I think of high charismatic, like, you know, your stereotypical, you know, bad guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's just, I think of them differently.
I think that's definitely a branch of warlocks, but that's one of the things I like about warlocks is that they are I think they have the best built-in like role play in the form of the patron, and like what that relationship is. No other class really has like a built-in relationship.
Yeah,
to that extent, at least.
Oath, which I think sets a lot of their role play.
Yeah, that's true. But that can be totally devoid of any person or entity.
Sure.
That can be entirely just internal, and clerics to some extent, but like
clerics don't accidentally become clerics.
No, that's true. You can't accidentally, oops, I worship you now.
Yeah.
Oh, did you guys?
Oopsie.
Did any of y'all see the TikTok where
I can already say no.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's
same.
on Instagram too, but it was where
times, old man.
yeah.
Well, if
I know
it's to Facebook, yes, then no.
it might have, but Snash, you've probably seen this one. It's the one where the demon appears to the party and like is like, "Hello, lover," and everybody looks at the bard, and the bard goes, "Rude," and then the cleric goes, no, he's talking about me. And all of them turn and look at the cleric, and then the cleric's like, "I've told you, I just recently joined the clergy." And like, it's like they were a warlock that's now a cleric. Anyways, when y'all were talking, I was thinking about that video in my head.
They'll see it in 9 months from now, Ruby.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, 100%. It's great.
You want to take a little break?
Yeah, let's take a break. Why don't we? It's been an hour plus.
All right.
We'll be back.
We'll
It's
be
a good
back
hour.
in a few. And we're back.
And we're back, says Scott, with more time for questions. I'm not checking the chat. I don't know if anybody has posed any. Probably not.
Well, other than he wants to know European swallow, but that's beside the point. It's not relevant.
6? 6.
We're going with 6.
Yeah.
6.
No units. I'm not going to specify. All right, but I can kick us off with a question here. So you all know that I like to make stuff. I'm a home brewer. I rarely offer like official magic items. When I do, it feels weird and dirty, like I'm cheating on the test or something. But of the various homebrewed elements of Wyrdgard, whether it's items or like species features, and it might not even be specific to your character, it might be someone else's character. What have you enjoyed the most?
Specifically homebrewed stuff?
Yeah, shit that I made that you're like, oh, okay. I like that. Or maybe we collaboratively made in other regards.
I'm dying to use that, I forget the name of it, the glove that we got in the first
I
time
thought
we
I had unleashed a freaking fox in the hen house when you got that. But
we literally have not come across another pane of glass this entire campaign.
yeah. You haven't prowled enough at marketplaces.
We've had no time. Like,
yeah.
that would be my one request of the campaign is like have a little more time between events, right? So that we can actually. I mean, Quinn's got a whole backlog. I actually have a document of. It's like a to-do list of things for Quinn to do, including like he's got 3 scrolls he needs to scribe. He's got things he needs to go explore and see if he can buy.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of stuff like that. So some downtime in a populated area would be helpful. But
you will have that at your next populated locale.
All right. Cool.
If you get there alive.
For the stream, the glove that I'm referring to was the previous owner was a blacksmith who was in charge of ensuring that a gem, it was a magical gem that a town was using that was kept inside of a glass case was well cared for. But this glove has the ability to, you sort of draw a shape on glass, and then you can pass your hand through that glass and retrieve an item or do whatever, unlock a door, unlock a window, and it does not actually break the glass. So Quinn has been dying to use that. He's actually been wearing it this whole time, just on the off chance.
And he looks ridiculous in this really bright and shiny.
It's a
Michael
sexy
inspired
powder blue, elbow length.
It's very chic. But it's also fire resistant.
Terribly.
I've even been waiting for an opportunity, like when we had the caravan explosion and firewall and all that. Like, is there an opportunity for Quinn to put one hand through the fire for any useful purpose? It was not.
Yeah.
Oh well. But that's a cool one. That was clearly a bit of imagination to come up with that item, and I'm just dying to use it. I have another one too that I'm going to use soon. So.
Yeah, I figured when you were asking me questions about it.
Yeah, the Mimeo pen. So that's going to get some use.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm dying to use my mask.
Yeah.
You haven't had a chance, that's right.
I guess I got to hit y'all harder.
You've not shared what the mask actually does yet, right?
Yeah, I'm dying to use it.
You did technically use it on when you did the Extol Life, where you got the boost to the healing.
Yeah.
But the other one,
I remember that.
not yet. I just gotta hit you hard, Harlow.
You haven't hit me yet.
No, you haven't really hit
Got
it.
hit one time in 4 sessions.
I mean, this next encounter should pack a punch.
You say that.
The one that we're in the middle of as the session
That
ends.
The one
means the rest of
that
us
you're
might
about to
die.
start. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see, though. I don't know. I've thought that before, and it was like, whatever.
Let's see. I'm down on spell slots.
Yeah, that's the problem is we haven't taken
Alright.
any downtime, so my spell slots are pretty depleted.
Oh,
Yeah,
me being
and
down
that's-
means I've used like 3 spells. So.
Oh, I'm like tapped because we
Yeah.
had the whole cave fight and we had the mimic fight, and without any rest, right in between.
Yeah, well, and
server. Yeah.
to go back to your comment before about downtime, like I know at the onset of the campaign we said we wanted it to like to cover more time, but it's like we really, like we said, we haven't been to that many locations. Two of the four settlements have been very small. Stonebridge is definitely the biggest, but it's I had to create a reason where you weren't just going to be like, all right, well, we're just gonna leave and we're go on to the next place, which I think is always the challenge of like, so but like the next place that you will be, there will be something that not necessarily forces you, but would make it more challenging to just go, and might require you to spend some time doing some research and this and that. So downtime's coming to you, Quinn.
All right, cool.
What about you, Ruby?
Well, I think truthfully, I appreciate the most recent stuff you've done, such as my sash, and then now I have a new interesting ladle that sounds like it's gonna pack a punch. No, I mean, the
Is
chef
there a
class is
bowl?
great, huh?
Is there a bowl?
Is
Your
there a
ladle?
bowl?
Your ladle is packing punch.
There's not a bowl.
Is there a
It-
No, you're
bowl
the
with
crockpot.
a-
You're packing punch.
That's true.
So sorry, Ruby.
Y'all are terrible. But I appreciate those being added in. They do seem homebrewed. I'm not sure where you got the ideas from them, but they definitely seem. There you go, exactly. And I appreciate them because the chef class is great, but it doesn't, like when it comes to combat, it's not the most like strong. It's definitely a support type character.
Yeah,
So
it's a bard.
Yeah, it's basically like a bard. So these are kind of helping bridge a little bit of that gap, which I do appreciate. You taking time to think about that and add that in for me. Because I somehow inadvertently end up being right next to Kat a lot. Without,
Yeah, Nasha's like, I'll go in there.
I go in there, let me cut it to bits.
Arms a flailing.
Let me smack it with a pan and see what happens.
Whereas our magicians are off on the either the side or in a sphere of terror, and
Yeah. I do also
nothing
think,
can approach them.
I think sometimes me and Nosh are both like, if we get too close to Harlow, we'll get too close to the totem, and then we'll be scarred again.
the
To be fair,
totem
I
is
have, like, 20
separate
hit
from
points.
me.
I know.
You
I know.
always
Yeah,
take. You stay
but
in
that's-
my aura, baby.
All right, I'll start staying closer. Start staying closer to Harlow, which I think I've been doing. I'm trying to do more lately. So,
Right.
but yeah, no, those are great, and yeah, no, those just right now, those are the two that come to mind that are I'm the most
You do seem to enjoy, and this is always my favorite type of item, like the Evervile, one that has
Oh,
some
yeah.
randomness built
I
into
do
it.
really love that. I love being. I can't use it though because
You're not resting. Yeah.
the rest yet, and I'm getting frustrated. I'm like,
Well, and I love that
Is
you're
it
like
short
recording
rest
the
or long
results.
rest?
It's long rest.
it's long rest. If you ever get my character sheet, know that in my notes, like my biography of my character, there's a list with every number that we've rolled thus far on the Evervile and what it's supposed to correlate to.
But this last one, we don't know what you rolled. It was a mystery. We know what you got, but we don't know what you rolled. Because it was like we had there was a there was
Oh,
a
that's
foundry
right, because
issue where
there was
I
a
wasn't seeing the
foundry glitch.
rolls.
We did, but it looks like it was similar to a previous roll because of
Well,
what you gave me.
There are several numbers on the roll that are a potion of healing.
Okay. No, I figured because I've gotten the superior.
Yeah, so there's 40 potions. 20 of them are like fun special potions.
Yep.
20 of them are various levels of healing potions.
I like the shape shifting one a lot.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
ended up
Giant
being really
scorpion was
was cool.
great.
useful in that
Giant
moment.
scorpion.
Like that scorpion wrecked shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To do
That
awesome
was
job.
clutch.
So, but yeah, no, that one's another one. I often forget about it until I need it. It's like, what do I have left amongst the fact that all my food is gone? Can I use? And that'll sometimes be it. But yeah, I guess those three things are definitely some of my favorite. You've homebrewed for us. Snash, you got a question?
I'm looking.
Anyone's welcome to ask if they have one. Oh, I guess I have one. Are there any like iconic? It's like in Martyria, Scott, you had said I've never actually fought a dragon, and you still haven't fought like a real dragon. There's a crazy homebrewed one. But are there any iconic, or maybe less iconic, D&D monsters that you've never encountered? That you're like, I want to.
Never had an owl bear.
Even an owl bear?
I want to fight a displacer.
A displacer beast?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they're
really
not a lot of fun.
like the look of displacer beast.
They're
Yes,
cool.
don't be.
Oh yeah.
And I actually wanted one as like a familiar. Like, that's my familiar. It answers to me.
That's insane. A displacer beast familiar.
Yes. Yes.
It would have to be like a displacer kitten and be like very scaled back on its capabilities.
No. You give it a potion of enlarge, and the next thing you know, you got a real displacer beast right in front of everybody, ready to wreak havoc.
I'm not sure I'm trying to think. I'm sure at some point, but a gelatinous cube. I cannot for the life of me remember actually fighting a gelatinous cube.
Oh yeah, well, because we in Martyria in the sewers, it wasn't a gelatinous cube. It was a
rat.
No, there was that like red. What was that? That was like an ooblex or something that Cyril.
The oubliette.
Nearly.
Wait, no. It's not
Yeah, like so that was the closest I've
It's kind
done
of like
to.
an ooze.
It wasn't ooze, so it definitely wasn't a gelatinous cube, but it was definitely.
Like it created a mimic.
Oh, because it was he had a vial of something red.
It was
That might have been Chrono, and it was like just a random roll, and that was one of the things built in, and that's the thing that he got. And so you guys weren't ready for that, but you still made it out.
I also really want to fight a vampire lord.
Vampire Lord.
So you can romance him.
Of course, Harlow, you know that. Come on, Snash, you know where my mind's at. He's mine. No, but I also just think it's really cool because they have interesting stats, especially if they have like quite a few servants and spawn within their domain.
They changed a lot in 2024.
I haven't finished reading all of it yet, but still.
I'm a huge fan of devils and demons. Just the war, everything. I can't wait to play a D&D campaign with that someday. But I don't think we'll ever see that in like the world we're in because it just doesn't narratively it doesn't fit.
No, and that was intentional in that like we had the devil side of things in Martyria, and I wanted to, but also because like I don't know the lore of the Blood War and the devils and demons and all that, and it's fun and it's cool, but I think the planar system is one of the things that I think enjoy least about D&D, of like having like baked into like game mechanics. Yeah, and it's just like I don't give a shit about the ethereal plane, you know, and especially because like not every setting is going to have all of the planes, and so I think having like spells that connect to specific ones like etherealness, it's like, why are you doing that?
Yeah. I do enjoy the spells that use kind of the dimensions aspect of D&D.
Sure, yeah.
Rope, trick, banish, like anything, like even bag of holding, the whole notion of little kind of mini pocket universes is very cool.
Yeah. Oh, I like those for sure. But anything that's like, ooh, you have to know some lore or make up some lore here for this to work.
Oh, does that
I
mean
totally
that
want the Magnificent Mansion, by the way. That's a Quinn goal, is at some point he wants the mansion.
does that mean that maybe we should like eventually make other planes for Wyrdgard?
Are we gonna do plates?
We might just make some plates.
Stack
Maybe
some
make
plates.
I'd be happy to help add some plates. There's definitely some key spots on the map that I'm like, ooh, a plate could be hiding under here. Or a doorway to a plate. Maybe I should
On top of it, underneath it, all around it. Yeah.
stab straight through the middle of it.
What about you, Nick? Is there any creatures you have never run that you're anxious to run? Out of the kind of classic monster
No,
genre?
because if I wanted to do it, I would have done it.
Yeah, sure enough.
You know?
No, I mean, some creatures, the party's just not high enough, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Like, what's the new ooze of annihilation or whatever it is?
Oh,
that's
yeah.
just insane CR like 30 or whatever. That
Yep.
It's like an ooze the size of a town or something.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm sure that would be fun, but like the higher up you go, when a stat block is just crazy big with all of the features, it becomes too much. You know, to I think run it well, it adds to the amount of time you have to spend like really planning out your actions ahead of time. Okay, like round 1 I do this, round 2 I do that.
Hmm.
Keeping it simpler is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only played a couple of high-level campaigns, and I find that those big fights are they're almost binary. It's like the party they're just locked in and can kill it quickly, or it goes horribly, horribly wrong. It's almost never that we had a fairly fair fight and we just eked it out at the end. It's like one or the other pretty fast.
And it's hard. Like if you ever play like at level 20, it is hard as fuck as a DM to deplete the resources of a level 20 party unless you are just onslaught after onslaught of tough encounters without any opportunity to rest. Because a level 20 wizard or any caster has so many spell slots.
Yeah.
That
and if they actually organically got to 20, you're also dealing with so many legendary items and magic
for sure.
items that, like, I mean, at a certain point, wizards can become effectively immortal, right? By cloning themselves and all that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's like, okay.
I did a level 2 through 20 campaign and it was long and it was fun, but it was tough to not make encounters just absolute slogs. Because every character has a billion things they can do. The encounter has to also be able of doing to do a lot of things to challenge all of that. It's not ideal, but I think it'd be fun to get there someday. Maybe, I don't know.
So what's everybody's favorite character level range for playing D&D?
For me, it's like right around 14. That's when
14?
I start feeling like I can do anything.
Okay.
I think we closed out Tomb of Annihilation at like 17. But we kind of speed ran the last couple levels, so it didn't feel as good. But once we got up there, it finally felt like, oh, maybe I won't die immediately today. And I like I played a ranger and I got her pretty high level, and once I could be like, like 4 attacks around, that got pretty fun.
Yeah.
Ruby, what's your level sweet spot?
I don't feel like I've played enough to say that. I think my favorite was right near the end of Martyria. Not before like we leveled up and we were going to fight the final like big fight and everything, because we had that big jump in level.
Yeah.
But like before that, when we were still trying to find a solution or keep going. Those kind of sessions right up near the end were really great. I don't remember exactly what level we were at. I think it's probably 10 to 12. In between 10 and 12, it definitely felt like you're definitely not invincible, but you definitely can hold your own against a lot of stuff if you play your characters right and collaborate well with your teammates.
Oh, when you get slapped with like 40 points of damage and you're like, I'm fine, guys.
Yeah, just keep walking.
Nothing.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. So that's where I would say, as of right now, like if you ask me, 5 or 10 years down the line, if I've played a bunch more and I've gone so many levels, it might be different. But right now, yeah, that's where I'm thinking.
What about you, Scott?
I'd probably say, because I generally play casters, it's right around, certainly beyond spell level 3, but maybe right in and around spell level 4. That's when you really start to feel it. So for me, it's like level 9-ish or so. That's 9 to 12 or so, I think is, to me, that's just a fun time for a character, because you're not a newbie anymore. The character's got some power, but they're not a legend yet, in whatever the world is. So there's still, things can still kill you.
Yeah.
Nick?
3 to 7.
3 to 7. Okay. Yeah.
That's the perfect for a DM. Like that's the sweet spot range. Prior to that, it's way too easy to accidentally kill people. You get a crit on a big hit and someone dies, and you're like, oh shoot, I feel bad. Beyond that, like up to 12 is still like pretty good. I think beyond that is still fun. It's just the everything, like you inevitably have to, like the scale of everything has to just keep going, which I know something you talked about, Ruby, like prior to this campaign, is like, like it'd be cool if the end is not like we go kill gods, and it's like when you're at level 17 through 20 and you are these demigods, it's like, well, the only thing that's a challenge to you is a god.
No, I get that, but I don't know.
I would definitely not mind living in these levels for good periods of time.
Yeah.
I'm in no race to get to higher levels,
I am.
Are you?
There's like crashes. I could
especially considering like in-game time, we've gone from level 2 to level 5 in
6
in 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, something like that.
Yeah, you've done a lot in that time.
We have.
In fairness. But yeah, no, like, and I will say, as a player, I'm absolutely like, give me the levels, I want the levels, because it's always like I have this idea of a build in mind, and I'm like, I just need that one more level, I just need 2 more levels, and then it's really gonna come online. And I think as a DM, when I do have the chance to play, I always fall into the multi-class trap, because it really is a trap.
Yeah, but I have committed to being a single class character this game. I'm not gonna multi-class at all. No dips.
Yeah. Well, because did everybody multi-class last time?
Yeah.
In Materia?
Yeah, I think we're all multi. Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. You multifaceted sons of guns.
Well, it's always it comes with regret, because you sit there at like level 12 and you go, man, if I had just been one
I only
class,
have 4th level spells.
Right, exactly. If I had just been one class, look where I would be with my spells.
Yeah, and I think that's some would say maybe a weakness of Dungeons and Dragons, is that like to get that narrative thematic idea of the character that you have in your head, sometimes just like it doesn't work unless you multi-class. And for some people, like the narrative, the flavor doesn't matter. It's just like straight min-max, and that's fun too. But I think because I'm a DM first and a player second, I'm always approach it like a character, as from the story first and mechanics second. Other questions?
I have one.
You have one.
Well, it's one that's on the list that I think is pretty interesting, and I want to hear y'all's response.
The party has a mom. And who do each of you see as the true heart of the group versus the agent of chaos? When you look and you see like the mom and the caretakers in the group, who do you think is like the heart of the group and who is the agent of chaos when it comes to the group of us? I just really want to hear people's opinions. Because I think there's different ways to look at it, you know?
Yeah, I guess on the mom, if there's a kind of a matriarch figure, it's got to be Catriona when we're in battle.
Yeah.
Out of battle, I think it's Nosh. Because I think
Yeah.
Nosh is always about providing sustenance to the party and making sure everybody's cared for. So I think it fluctuates based on situation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, even in combat, like Nosh has done the most healing, despite there being a cleric in the in the campaign.
We have a cleric?
Yeah, we do.
Bro, I never get a fucking chance to do anything, so that's not my
Cat's
fault.
always either alive or dead.
We're dead.
Do you want me to give someone 7 points of healing when it doesn't fucking matter? Like,
True.
or do you want me to save you?
You've done a good job on saving when it needed.
That okay, let's get into something real quick. That's what I hate about people's thoughts of clerics. Because everybody thinks clerics are just like pew, 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 healing,
No.
healing, healing. There's a balance to it.
Oh, for
Because
sure.
If a cleric uses every single round to heal people, and you're getting in more damage than you're healing, it's pointless.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
it's definitely like, I'm going to save my spell slots to bring you back up when you go down, rather
Yep.
than healing you before you go down.
Yeah.
Sure.
Which, like, 5e healing is most effective when someone is down. Like, that's the best time to heal them,
For sure.
because who gives a shit about you gave them 11 points, hit points, and then they next turn take 25. It's like,
Yep.
okay, cool.
I'm just gonna try and make sure you don't miss your round in combat, so
Yeah.
it'll be whack-a-mole.
Right? Yeah.
That's
Let's
fair.
go.
That's why Healing Word is better than Cure Wounds.
Yeah.
Bonus action, pop them up from
Dependent.
afar.
I
Dependent.
think Quinn is chaos.
In some regard.
Like,
yeah.
no one is like crazy chaotic
No.
though. Like,
No.
no one is like going like,
No,
I
but-
stabbed the NPC.
But when somebody walks in to unlock a chest and immediately gets almost trapped in a mimic cave, and then gets the party mom trapped in the mimic cave, you know, you
I
just
definitely am more of a button pusher, I think, than the rest of the party personalities.
Yeah.
I will say,
Quite frankly, a lot of it comes from just, hey, Nick took the time to set this up. I'm going to drink from this crazy pool that asked me 7 times if I...
I know I can always count on you for that, Scott.
But I think that's just you, Scott.
yeah,
That's fine.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
good because
That's fine.
Alex was the same way. He was always like, I do the thing.
Yeah, do the thing. What happens, Nick? What happens?
Whereas the rest of you are like, let us debate
Yeah.
the ethics, the philosophy, and the science of doing the thing.
Well, I've tried not to do.
Good. Like, I love that you all are always like inhabiting your character and thinking as your character. Because like you sitting at a computer, there's no real stakes. Like you're going
Right.
to be fine no matter what. But your character, maybe not.
But I also think it's a play style type of thing.
Oh, for
like,
sure.
I know I'm definitely more of a like, hey, is this okay with you? Is this okay with
Mhm.
you? Is this okay with you before I take action? Just because that's how I play. And I see that a lot with like other members, right? And so sometimes we do need a button pusher. And I think that's something we talked about too when actually we were looking for a new member is we would get stuck in our circle of making sure that everything is okay with everybody else. That
Yeah.
sometimes we need a little bit of action.
Well, that's definitely Nosh sometimes too. And,
Yeah.
and it was
I will
Enyo
say-
too. It's,
Inyo and
oh, I'm just going to jump in and touch this column.
But and then
off she
sometimes
goes.
that's like, oh my god, please stop. Just stay with us. Stop running ahead. You're
Like,
going to
I
die.
want to touch the glowy
It's a great
thing.
story, you know, with
I'm gone.
as long as it's done not maliciously and in moments where it's like it makes sense.
Well, I hope that if it ever seems like it is done maliciously, somebody will like message me like, "Did you like that wasn't? Are you trying to be mean?" You know, like
Yeah, it's
please,
never
like
it's
double
never
check.
mean.
No, because it never is. It's usually just ooh. Especially like recently, that was totally kind of an India moment of I want to touch it and see what happens. And I was also trying to get us through. I was like, if I touch this, something's gonna happen that's gonna get us through this cave. We're gonna get out of here. But then it went into another cave, and then it was I'm gonna go touch the next one and see if it'll get us out of here. But yeah, I think we can both be that way, Scott. Just see what happens.
Sometimes you just need to make some progress.
I will say I did point out the wall, and then Kat went over and opened the wall or touched the wall. What did happen?
Oh, in the cave? Yeah.
Well, the wall seemed to react to her.
Yeah.
And maybe there's reasons for that. I don't know.
Wow, because the wall is stone and she's stone.
Mm.
Could it be? Oh, gosh.
So silly. So, Sash, who do you think is the mom and the chaos agents?
Hey,
You
well,
kinda
I
said.
mean, that's just Pew. Mom is Cat.
Yep.
Chaos agent is 100% Quinn, and then sometimes Nosh, but definitely Quinn top. I think it depends on what you're talking about too.
True.
So like if you're talking about like in a social setting, Harlow's gonna say the most fucked up thing.
Yep.
Because she
Yeah.
doesn't stand.
Harlow's the baby that doesn't have a filter.
But if it's like, not even I don't even know if there's like a chaos agent in combat, because I don't think anyone is. We're all very strategic in our combat, how we play.
Yeah.
And we're never really like, oh, well, I'm just going to throw this giant bomb out because I can. And it's not like we're going to need it later. Like we're not doing that type of stuff in combat. But if it's like other things going on, and if there's a chance, yeah, Quinn will get in there.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, sure.
And then he'll turn into a rock and leave the rest of us to deal with it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
If you all independently, as your characters, came across a small injured child in the middle of the road, Nosh would feed it and tend it. Harlow would, what's going on there? Poke and prod and ask questions.
Maybe steal its teeth. But yeah.
No, I wouldn't steal a child's teeth.
It would take like a very like measured approach and then check its pockets, and Catriona would, I think, maybe take a step back out of fear of harming this child with her
I've been here before. It's in
Oh, no. Oh gosh.
That's great.
Yeah. Ah.
So
I don't-
whose
who's-
backstory is
Ooh.
kind of driving the current narrative for you, or is it sort of something totally different? Like, where are you drawing the main narrative from?
Well, so like you all are on this journey to the east, right? Because you identified Starfall as that's where you want to go, and so like there's stuff with Nosh that has yet to come up that will soon. At least little sprinkles of it. I mean, right now, same thing with. I think of Quinn and Catriona as being backstory the most connected in a way, in that you both have a very similar goal of like we gotta fix these Effigians. We gotta wake them up. Which connects to Nosh and connects to Harlow as well. I mean, my documents for like this campaign, what I have it titled is Wyrdgard Awakening. Like that's the big thing here. So I think that it's all of you, and sometimes one person is going to be more in the spotlight. Like Nosh and his siblings are prominent right now, but very soon there's going to be some effigy and shit, and so it's all of you. And I mean, like, clearly Harlow is got some sort of Silver John connection, which you don't.
Silver John.
Yeah, which what is that? And so yeah, so it's everybody with different ebbs and flows, I think.
It's cool to see it weaving together. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Coming out of a campaign that was so thick with lore, with Martyria.
Yeah.
Like coming into Wyrdgard, early on, without any of that story going on, it almost felt a little empty. So it's neat to start seeing, this running narrative developing under these characters.
Yeah, and that's been my challenge, because like with Martyria, I already had like the very clear, like, okay, not only here are all these factions, but here's this inciting incident. Here's what is like the backstory of everything that's going on and has been going on in Martyria. I don't have as much of that in Wyrdgard, in that so much more of the world is shaped by your characters, and the like. I didn't have like this is what the first campaign of Wyrdgard is going to be. It was, okay, here are many different ideas I have. Here's what you all came up with. Here's where you said you wanted to start. Well, where does it go from there? So it's that ever-changing puzzle. And where will it end? I don't know. We'll see.
I got a question. Nick, and I'm also including Scott into this because I know Scott's brain is crazy.
Because we're boys? No.
No. Have you put any thoughts into, either now or in the future, building a new class for Wyrdgard specifically?
Yes. I mean, definitely subclasses. But it's always been like this idea of, like, realistically, like, you should encounter them as NPCs first, like the idea. So like I've got like a rogue subclass idea specific to Kuraharoa, a few others for other things, but it's like home classes though. Ooh, that's fucking tough.
That's like the last thing that you touch. We can touch worlds, we can touch races, but classes are...
Because a class is such a big thing, and as someone who is active on the various homebrewing subreddits, I give a lot of feedback. I don't ever post anything like of my own. I give a lot of feedback, and there's a lot of ways to fuck it up.
Yeah.
Because it's like sometimes you'll have an idea for a class, and well, 6 people have already done it, and they've probably done it better than you're going to. Or you're like, okay, this is a cool idea, but could it really just be a subclass? And so classes is something I have not tackled in any capacity. But subclasses, I've made subclasses in the past that have had mixed success with players trying them out.
So, Nick, you and I talked for a little bit because I've always thought I wanted to create a class for summoners, which there just isn't really. There's some spells, there's summoning and conjuration spells, but a class that was really focused on, like, my power comes from the minions that I can draw, And I thought Zealoid was sort of the great framework to do that from, because the Zealoid could effectively use himself or mass from the body of the Zealoid as little summoned creatures. But I think without, if you took it as a sorcerer subclass or a wizard subclass, I think you're kind of losing it. It gets diluted. It just becomes a feature
Yeah.
of, right, rather than actually developing something new. So if I was to start from scratch, it would be to really hone in on a class that was focused on summonings. Right?
So you want to be a master?
I think
Pokemon
there's been other
master?
games that I've played, like
Yeah.
even Diablo and things where
Yeah.
you just have this army of creatures that's coming with you. And
DM's nightmare.
yeah, totally. And that just doesn't exist in D&D, right? In fact, it got worse with 2024 because they took out some of the summonings and turned them into more like auras, right? So
You
now-
have like the conjure spells, yeah.
Exactly. So I think it's actually moved away from where at least my vision of what a summoning class would be. But I don't know. That would be a cool one to work on sometime in the future.
Could do a BattleBots summoning class.
Yeah.
A Blockster summoning class.
Blockster.
And because like that summoner is one that people are always like pining for. A witch is something that people always want because like you can cobble together things to make something witchy. Like a support marshal is always something that people want, but it's like I don't know. I feel any class that I were to make would ultimately be just inherently heavily flawed.
All right, just make a subclass, and they use Blocksters, and they throw them out, and they make them big,
They're like
and they
Pokemon.
put them on the board.
Can I say one thing about Blocksters?
Yeah.
That necklace, I did make it for Harlow.
I
because
kind of
I
figured
know
that was where
I
they were
I know
supposed
you
to
wanted
go.
a buddy,
I
and then
know,
you
I
like
wanted it.
as it was there, I was like, then you created your zombie, and I'm like, all right, that's fine, which is good, but
Still want it, but I wasn't going
Kat can't even attune it. She's already got 3 items attuned.
just gotta decide what.
I think you need to negotiate that away.
What just happened to my computer?
Oh, what do I have? I have I have the necklace from Papa Roach. It gives you an extra daily.
Oh, the bead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably negotiate.
a trade.
I don't get very many things. My inventory is like 3 items long.
The mask, the sword. What else have you got as kind of like custom
The
items?
bead, the soul.
Bead. Yeah. Was the glove in your mind? Was that intended for anybody in particular?
No, that was totally like that, and the pen were both just narratively like necessary to, like for the narrative to work with what was going on in Midhaven.
Yeah.
So that was not for anyone.
It feels like a burglar's tool to me. The glove.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And Quinn's background is actually criminal, so
hmm
yeah. I can
So it makes
totally see
sense that he would have gravitated toward it.
that. Yep. All right, so 2024 rules. This is the first campaign I think any of us have been playing with 2024 rules. Anything that we particularly find onerous or great about 2024?
What about what we don't like?
Yeah.
What do you not like? What's onerous?
Base DC of grappling. I hate the
Yeah, that it's not contested.
baseline of 50. I love a contested because a contested just feels a little bit better.
I mean, it is contested in that it's based on a stat from the person who's initiating the grapple.
But isn't the grapple like stat just like a baseline of like 15 or something?
Yeah,
like that?
it's the same as like a spell save would be, but it uses strength as the stat. So it's 8 plus your proficiency plus your strength.
Okay.
Whereas hiding is just a base DC
Maybe
15.
that's what I'm thinking of.
And it used to be with grappling that you as the grappler make an athletics check, the person resisting makes an acrobatics or athletics, check. And now you're making a save, either dexterity or strength against the thing, which I guess does prevent someone like with expertise in one of those two skills dominating one side or the other of the grapple. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe that is something to think about for moving forward. Do we want to go back to the 2014 grappling? Scott, anything for you?
Certainly Illusionist got a lot better than what it was, which that was one of the reasons I picked Illusionist as a subclass. It had always been the bottom of the barrel on the wizard subclasses, at least in my mind. It was just, there wasn't enough teeth in it. So I'm anxious to see how it continues to progress, but certainly like being able to do minor illusion as a bonus action at 60 feet with both sound and vision, with an image, that's like a pretty amazing, just key core feature of the class. Downsides of 2024, the character creation felt a little weird to me. The fact that the only way to get the particular trait I was looking for, alert, was that Quinn has to be a criminal, right? I suppose we could have like lured it in some way.
Yeah.
Like
It's also under guard.
Which
there
the
was
fact
a
that
reason.
so many
Alert
of you
is on
picked
guard.
the alert, which I thought was interesting. That's definitely something that in our next campaign we're going to do away with. It's going to be you pick your ability scores, you pick your feat.
Okay.
Like more of like that custom background, because it's stupid. Like you can be a guard who has the lucky feat and is, I don't like that they took the complaints of, oh well, races are too limited and constricting, and then just said, okay, well, they're not anymore, but your background is.
Yeah. I actually like it. I don't like that they've made everything sort of homogenized when it comes to races. I liked certain races having unique aspects to them that other races didn't. It's like if you want to play a dwarf that has reach, you're gonna have to pick a different game, right? And it used to be that that really meant something, what your race actually was. But
yeah, but it inevitably made it that if you're playing, like, okay, if I want to play a dwarf wizard, well, I'm at a distinct disadvantage.
right, exactly.
So it's like, do I handicap myself in the game for the sake of this character that I've created, and I like their story and I like the narrative and the flavor, or do I go with a high elf because that's what's better mathematically?
Yep.
Because it is a game of math, ultimately.
Resource management and math. Yeah.
For me, I think the biggest thing I dislike about 2024, there's a lot of things that I really do like, but the biggest thing is not one particular thing. It's the meta of design that I've seen, especially when it comes to like the subclasses that Wizards of the Coast are playtesting, is that so much of everything is features that just grant temp HP and give you free casting of X and Y spell. Like the hunter or the ranger redesign of being like, you are just the hunter's mark class now, and we'll let you cast it for free a couple of times. Or like a lot of the subclasses that have come through from the Unearthed Arcana are just that. It's like, at level 3, hey, you can cast this spell. Like that's your gripe with the illusionist now, is that the level 6 feature is not illusion, and it's just you cast these spells.
Yeah, it's crap.
Yeah, it just feels in that regard, with like that repetition of thing, like just to be kind of uninspired.
Yeah. That, speaking of what do we love about homebrew, I love that about you as a DM, that you are completely open to just, hey, we don't like this, let's come up with something better. Super cool.
Quinn's gonna have a different feature.
Yeah, it's not OP. I think we
six.
settled on something that
It just makes your AC 25, 3,000 hit points, and spell save DC
only
at
temporarily.
55.
Only temporarily.
Yeah.
Just one day at a time. Ruby, what do you like or not like about 2024?
Okay, so I don't know enough to feel like I can say a lot.
You're playing a homebrew class, so that's...
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
so-
That's true.
I just really like the healing. Is better.
Healing is definitely better.
If you think about it, my orange cakes wouldn't be as impactful if they weren't. And correct me if I'm wrong, was inspiring leadership able to grant the temporary HP previously like that? I had used it before.
I don't know if it's the same number or like the same calculation for the temp HP,
Right.
but yeah, it was temp HP for inspiring leader.
Yeah, so it's it definitely, I like that as well, but definitely just healing in general. I think that's made a good impact overall. So, but yeah, I'm playing a lot of homebrew, so I haven't had to delve deep into the rules as much as I could have. Next time, next class.
Yeah, I mean, we're playing 2024 for the rules, but
Right.
Quinn is the only character, and even, I mean, we have to ignore the species aspect of it,
Right.
but so nobody is like rules is written 2024 characters.
Yeah, that's true.
But Quinn's the closest in that he is
I
a
think until
player's
level
handbook
6,
class
right?
and subclass. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've got homebrew class with both Catriona and
Warden.
Nosh, and then a homebrew subclass for Harlow.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It in a game where you can be anything you want to be, I think limiting yourself to only what is official is just counterintuitive to the game. As long as you work it into what is like what everybody agrees on, then it's going to be a good experience.
Mm-hmm.
We have like time for like maybe one more question. Does anybody have a real good one? Real thinker? A real...
It's the
All these
best
other ones
one.
were shit, guys.
Yeah, guys, so far everything we've said has been dog shit. Let's cut that.
Wow.
And cut that in post.
Uh,
Okay, I have a question for all of you. I guess, what do you like most about your character? And maybe that's multiple things, but what do you like most?
So I know the reason I pick Wizard, and I always kind of gravitate toward Wizard, is I love being I've got a tool bag of different tricks and I can pull it out on a situational basis. Quinn with Minor Illusion now, I think it's probably exponentially better with the ability to cast a much better Minor Illusion, because now the bag of tricks can be literally anything that we can think about visually or audibly. So that's pretty cool, and it's almost like frustrating when I don't have the trick that we need, but I know it's out there. So like coming down that cliff, like why didn't I fucking take Featherfall? Like god damn it, I didn't take Featherfall when I leveled up. So, but I enjoy that about Wizards and specifically Quinn.
Yeah, that was definitely like an encounter that I was double checking. I was like, does Quinn have Featherfall? Because if so, they're just going to bypass this, which is fine. But I don't want to get my hopes up if that's going to be the case.
Doesn't even have the scroll. Like it's just not. I didn't take that spell with the level up.
Yeah.
I'm really vibing with the veils and adding to, subtracting from, using all of that. I mean, I love now that it's getting bigger. I love having that +3 and being able to encompass everyone in the party with that, like whenever we might need it. And then say situationally something will change and I know that I need to change that stat block on a long rest, and then the entire party will have that +3 the next day to that stat all day long.
Yeah.
You can't long rest anymore though. The hag's got your number.
Oh no, I'm good. We can keep that +3 on wisdom. I love you guys.
The tricky thing is that because you're taking like significant souls into your veil, not just like expendable ones that you can then release and get those
because you
benefits.
see how I've been hoarding them.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that
yeah.
what you're
It's like-
saying? Yeah.
no, and which I think is perfectly fine. But then it's like there's aspects of the rekindled features. It's like you don't get to you don't get to use.
I don't think I've had. Well, I've also like I weigh it, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sometimes it's not worth like a handful of temporary hit points to lose that much bonus for the rest of the party for like one individual in a, because like that doesn't even, because I looked into it, that doesn't heal someone. So if someone goes down, I can't even bring you up by releasing.
And maybe making it like actual healing would entice that, but my only thing was I was like, there's no race that just has built-in healing in it, and I was like, that seems really good. Who good maybe?
No, the veil is really fun. I really enjoy it. It's fun to always see on map too. Just make sure I'm popping everybody up.
We have a lot of auras in this party already, right? Between Cat, Arlo, the Fear Totem. Like there's a lot of circles being thrown around on the board.
there sure are.
I don't know if you noticed that I strategically do that so that I can double fear, so that's something else. I fucking love fear. Like the frightened condition.
Yeah. It's a good one.
I'm just that's all I'm trying to do the entire time is make sure everything's
effective. So
that all the hits against the whole party is at disadvantage all the time.
Yeah, it's like a better Bane, basically.
Yeah. I don't take Bane, and I don't take.
It's a lot of crowd control, in that you can prevent movements with it.
Yep.
So it's good, and the fact that it can be afraid of you, and things can be afraid of the totem, mean that you really can lock combatants
You're like
in.
the sheepdog of the group.
Yeah,
just
you're
them
the
up
herder.
and let the group just pew pew pew.
Just wail on them.
What about you, Ruby? What do you like most about Nosh?
I like getting to choose my recipes just because there's such a variety of them, and each of them have different benefits. And I've really been trying to choose ones that are going to benefit the party as a whole. And I find that quite fun because it's different. I feel like it's a bit different from spell slots, but it's also very similar. Because I can make another recipe to try and bolster myself in a short rest, right? But like when I remake all of it, it's still going to be, I just have to be conscientious. Okay, which ones did I use most? Which recipe should I leave behind? If we've gotten a level, which recipe could I gain that would end up benefiting not just myself, but everybody? So I like that aspect of it. And then I just like, I mean, my favorite part so far has been the chopped, where we did a cooking battle. That was just so much fun. It was really enjoyable to think outside the box, and then you were happy to let me okay, well, I see that that's going wrong, so can I twist it around and make it into something different,
Mm-hmm. Well, and being a chef gives you the nice narrative thing of there's always something for you to be doing in your downtime, even if you only have a half hour, an hour. It's you're cooking something.
Yeah.
So that's always nice.
I like that about my character, because that's his whole gig is food and being able to cook and make something. And that's one of the reasons I was really gunning to make sure that he had the familiar that could help, or he had the ability to cast and make a quick fire to make something real simple, at any time of the day. So I like that probably the most about my character overall.
Yeah. What do I like most about your characters?
Yeah. What do you like?
I like that Harlow's a blank slate that I get to just get my fingers all over and play with.
That was Rafin. That was
yeah. For sure. I mean, there was definitely more of Rafin's backstory than. I mean, there are kernels for Harlow, but it's it's much more open, which I've appreciated. I mean, Rafen I had a lot of leeway to work with too, which I appreciated. I love Quinn's just craftiness. He's like you said, like he's always got something that's going to help, like the web to catch Catriona as she's falling, or there's spells that you have that you haven't even like used that I know you're going to eventually, and it's going to be in this like perfect, it's just the right time for that spell, which is always the challenge of a wizard in deciding what to prepare
What to
when.
prep.
Because you're
Yeah,
like,
that's the challenge.
God, I've got the spell, but it's not ready.
Yep.
Darn. Nosh, I think, has established himself as like a de facto, maybe not leader, but at least like the face of the party. And like Nosh is always going to get in there and like, let's real talk it with the NPC, even if he doesn't know what he's talking about, which is great. And I know that she's not here, but for Catriona, for Matilda, I think it's very similar to with C2. I love the way Matilda like really knows and embodies who her character is and like what her code is, and it's always like I feel like I don't always know how Quinn's going to react to things. I don't always know how Nosh is going to react to things. Harlow is like could be all over the place with it's going to be like with novelty and fun, but like I generally know, okay, this is how Catriona will react because this is who she is. Yeah, so I guess that's more
she's the
Matilda
bedrock
than
of
her
our character of our party. Right?
She's not just a rock, she's a boulder. But yeah. So I enjoy all of your characters a lot, and if any of them die, well, maybe Harlow will bring them back.
Maybe.
But if not,
Assuming it's not Harlow that dies. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well,
Harlow could disappear at any time.
I'm already dead, baby.
We know very little of the Rekindled.
Are we out of our artwork armor at this point? Our commissioned artwork armor?
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, I don't think I was ever consciously applying it. Just that
Cat was right on the brink a couple
there were
of times.
scrapes, yeah.
Yeah, with the hag. I mean, that was like down to one roll, right?
Yeah, but and again, that was like a move of desperation from Mama, like recognizing she's losing the fight, but sees that you have a vulnerable party member, and basically like forcing your hand. You know, a dumb monster wouldn't have
An intelligent enemy is scary.
Yeah. For sure. But and the thing about D&D is like we saw with Rafen, like if a character dies, especially once you have resources and levels, like they don't have to stay dead. Now, what that looks like in Wyrdgard, that remains to be seen.
Yeah. I almost took there was a trait for the Teorans that allowed them to regrow lost limbs. Like,
Yeah.
I fucking know what Nick's got in mind. But I didn't take that trait, so
Poison your arm.
yeah.
This time it'll be the other one and the other eye. Even you out. Okay, sorry, I said last thing, but this is the real last thing. We're just going to do a quick fuck, marry, kill with all of your PCs. So Harlow, Woe, Dove, Nosh, Enyo, and we'll go with Sana, right? That was their name?
Yeah.
Those three. And for Quinn, Rafen, and Fade.
Nice.
So
Oh
easy.
my gosh.
Or wait, what was your Ninja Turtle duo?
Oh yeah, Caravaggio. Yeah.
Caravaggio, okay.
Oh my gosh.
You ready?
Yeah.
Fuck Woe.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Marry Dove.
for sure.
Kill Harlow.
Bye.
Bye. Dove is a sweetheart. Love her so much.
Sweet baby, yeah.
Woe would be fantastic. And Harlow, I don't even want to go through that trauma.
Oh god. Oh goodness. What about you, Ruby?
Oh, man, my choices make me feel bad. Yeah, he's got a fuck in you. Just gonna be fun one way or another.
Are we all gonna fuck Martyria people?
Probably, yeah. I feel like that.
Let's see what Scott does.
I'm gonna marry Nosh.
Most fuckable group of ECs.
Yeah, I am gonna marry Nosh though. That would be really good. And I love Sana, but yeah, I'm gonna have to. Bye bye, woman on the wall.
See you later, son.
Love her, but yeah, no, I would want to marry Nosh either way.
I mean, you'll be well fed.
Exactly. Thank you. I don't have to cook. Nosh just got it.
I think of my 3 choices. The problem is none of these characters are particularly fuckable.
I don't
Hey,
know.
Quinn's
What
got
about
wood,
Fade,
baby.
Scott?
What about Fade? Yeah, maybe Fade. I mean, Fade is hung like a horse, so we're going to go with
Exactly.
Fade. I don't think you marry Rafin, not after what happened to his wife.
Oh lordy, that's fair.
I think you got to kill Rafin, and I think you marry
Put
Quinn.
him to rest, right?
Yeah.
Marry the
Yeah.
thief. Marry the thief. That's fair. That's
So
fair.
you're. I mean, we can lump Caravaggio and Fade as a duo here.
He's already a duo.
Yeah. That's
You're
fair.
right.
He's already a duo. Oh, so it's an orgy. Yeah, then we're totally gonna fuck
so
the
it's
orgy. Yeah,
It's a nice three-way.
Okay. Wait, now,
bestiality.
Nick.
Yeah.
You know all of our characters and of
Mhm.
all the 3 that we have. Now you have to choose amongst all of
Ooh.
us. 1,
Okay.
2, and 3. What would you choose?
Of like Harlow, Nosh, and Quinn,
You
or
no,
all of the characters
all of
from.
the characters.
Ooh.
All
Um,
9 of them. Which one would you-
Because she is the only character that is canonically fucked, gotta be Catriona. She knows what
Okay.
she's doing.
Is that true? There was no fucking in Martyria? That's not true at all. Right?
Well, I mean, I guess it's implied that Woe and
Fine.
that
It was
Woe
implied
and
that
Lyle had a
definitely
sexual relationship, but
Lyle and
never anything explicit.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm marrying. Ooh. I feel like Nosh is the good. Well, no. I want to marry a wizard. I want to have all of the conveniences of a wizard in my life.
No, but Nosh fucking cooks, bro.
Yeah, but well, I guess Nosh can also make me. I was going to say that Quinn could make me fly, but so could Nosh with his recipes. All right, I'm marrying Nosh, and I'm going to kill.
You're gonna get so much fur in your teeth.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna kill. I'm gonna kill. Ooh, can I kill one of my own characters? Can I kill Kale? Because
Why don't you
He-
go with your characters? All
Well,
right.
I've
yeah,
only got
let's-
2. Oh,
No.
including the NPCs.
I was gonna include the.
Oh,
yeah,
NPCs.
you get a whole
have-
universe of
You have
NPCs.
Boner Man.
Oh yeah, I mean he was a little one-shotty.
Uno, Kale.
Uno is like a sweet little naive baby.
Marry him.
No, I'd put him out of his
Baby.
misery. I'd
Oh,
kill him.
wow.
Yeah. No, he has trauma he doesn't even know that he has. I'd roll around with Kale. He'd be a good lay. And I'm gonna marry I forgot her name, but the bee. The bee bard.
God.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Bard that you did in last Boner Man one.
Yeah.
Oh, this one's. I feel like this one's self-explanatory, but if you had to do familiars,
Hobblefunk is getting fucked. This dude fucks.
That dude does.
As much as I love Ra, I don't know that he is like a good life partner. I feel like Moss is gonna be the better companion in terms of like she's gonna know how to do taxes well, and
I don't think so.
I think so.
She's Quinn's familiar.
She's
You're
the
really gonna
smartest
doubt
of the
that?
familiars.
You're really gonna douse that flame?
You're really
I'm gonna
the flame that can keep you
extinguish.
warm in the nights.
Yeah, I
Cold,
mean,
lonely nights.
that's what Gobblefong's for, baby.
That would not last.
Boy's got flames.
Well, and by the end of the campaign, he was rich and fucking
Yeah.
Give him
jacked,
all
too.
of our gold.
And human.
And human. Oh, but I'm specifically imp form.
Human.
Uh,
Wow. Terrible.
I mean, I love Ra, but sorry.
On that note,
He would be the worst lay. Let's
yeah,
Poor baby.
singe my minge.
Oh no. Oh gosh.
All right. Well, that's the chaos of us tonight.
Well, there we go, everybody.
We got right to the heart of the matter. It took us
Exactly.
2 hours to get there, but yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it was always on my list of things to talk about.
Mm.
That'll be the first thing we ask Matilda when she's back.
Oh,
gosh.
yeah.
That'll be a good question for her.
For sure. All right, everybody. Well,
All right.
thanks for watching. Hopefully this was fun. It was fun for me. It always is.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Stream.